Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tour Expo 2025. It is July the 17th, and our topic tonight is Italy, my favorite country, and hence we've got five or six tours that go there. We're going to talk about especially some of the destinations north of Rome tonight and the Amalfi Coast. And then later on, I had too much content and I'm keeping you too long every night, the last three nights. So I'm going to whittle it down and we'll talk about the last two destinations, the last night on the 24th of June. So before I get started with Italy, well, let me take care of a couple of things that we're doing for some promotions that we have. On all of our tours for 2026, they're all online at davidmcguffin.com. And there's a QR code or the web address right here on this slide. And we are offering $100 off every tour that's on the books for 2026 next year. We have 29 tour routes all over Europe and about 55 different departure dates for those 29 tour routes. So there's a place for you to go, and there's a time for you to go to Europe from April through December 2026. So if you've got a hankering to go to Europe, please come with me. Join up, register online at davidmcguffin.com, and we'll immediately deduct $100 from your invoice there on that tour. Also, we're not quite through with our 2025 tours either. As a matter of fact, at the end of August, we kick them off again. We're taking a break here in the hottest parts of the month of July and most of August. And so when we get back going in August, September, October, not so much in November, and then December, we have Christmas market tours. So those are going on, and we've got about 6 or 8 different tours going on in the fall. And those tours are being offered at a $300 discount if you sign up between now and August the 15th. And there's a QR code and a web address there as well. So take a look at that, and I'll just go through them really quickly. And we have the Best of Ireland that's departing in 1 month, August the 16th. It starts up in Northern Ireland and goes all the way down to Dublin. We have the Taste of Ireland that begins in Galway, south to Dublin. We have the Best of Scotland and Wales that begins in September 23rd, and that begins in Edinburgh, and we end down in North Wales. And then we have the Best of Sicily tour. That happens to be one that I'm leading in the latter part of September, the first part of October, a wonderful time to travel. I'd love to have you guys join me on that one too. We've got a few extra spots on that. So we'd love to have you do that. And then of course we have our classic tours in Italy, the Essence of Italy tour from Rome to Florence, and the Best of Italy tour, both beginning on the 21st of October, going through just the first couple of days of November. The Best of Italy tour begins in Rome and ends up in Milan. And then finally, we have 2 Christmas market tours that we're offering this year. We're doing the Christmas markets in Central Europe, which starts in Munich. And well, actually, this year we're starting in Budapest and ending in Munich. So we're working our way from Budapest to Vienna, to Prague, to Nuremberg. And we're doing that. And then that's on November 30th. And we also have the Classic Christmas Markets Tour, Munich to Munich, beginning on the 7th of December for 1 week. Both those tours are a Sunday to Sunday, 8 days length. So we'd love to have you join us. Think about it and go online, davidmcguffin.com, sign up and register, and we'll get you all sorted, ready to go travel with us. And finally, since you're watching tonight and maybe have been watching the last 3 nights, you're going to join in next week. We are also offering a free trip to Tuscany. So all you have to do is register and participate in these webinars that I'm doing. Each time you register and participate is 1 entry into a drawing that we'll have next week, the 24th, for a free trip for 2 people to our Tuscan villa vacation, situated right near Volterra in Tuscany. And those happen at April and May and September of next year. So good luck on that. Keep watching, participate. If you've got any questions or comments, if you'll just jot them down on the question and comment section of Zoom here, and at the very end of the evening, we'll go ahead and answer those questions as best as I can. Tonight, I'm going solo because the last few nights I've had someone here live with me, but we have three guests online that are going to be joining us. And the first is my friend Molly Silver. Molly, how are you tonight?
I'm good, David. How are you doing?
Great. It is fantastic to see you. And thanks for coming on. Molly and I worked together for a couple of 3 years and leading tours together and also planning and organizing the tours as well. And darn it, she went and had a baby. So she's not working outside of the United States too much for now. But good luck with that. How's that all going, being a mom?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I wish I was getting more sleep, but other than that, we're having a great time.
All right. Well, great. Molly lives up in South Georgia and operates Molly's Old South tours. And since she's going to come on tonight and she's going to talk a little bit about Italy because she's an expert on that, I invited her to join in and talk a little bit about her tours that she leads for Molly's Old South tours. Now,
So I live in St. Mary's, Georgia. So that's right across the Florida-Georgia border. And so it's a cute little historic town. It dates from the late 1700s. And then Cumberland Island, the famous national seashore, is right nearby. That's where the wild horses are, incredible Carnegie ruins. And so I give tours in St. Mary's and on Cumberland. And so much happened around here that people wouldn't expect. You know, we go to Europe for, the incredible history over there, but St. Mary's and Cumberland have got their own really interesting stories. So it's really fun to talk about.
Well, we're going to have to get up there. I said that the last time we talked about it about 2 years ago, and I've yet to make it up there, but we need to do that because it would be a fantastic experience. But in the meantime, let's go back to talking about Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Pisa. So this is my marquee for Italy. This is my son Brian and his wife Lori. We took our kids right after COVID to Pisa, and you can see that this was in the June of 21, and there were very few people there. July of 2021, as my wife over here says. And so she's always right, of course. And but you can see there's nobody there. And I was there, a couple of months ago, and it's crowded, crowded, crowded. But that's still okay because you always want to go there and see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That seems to be the symbol people choose for Italy, but maybe it's not the most important symbol, I don't think. So tonight we're going to talk about, on the left, tours that we offer north of Rome. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to talk about tours that we offer south of Rome. So north of Rome is what I call my Essence of Italy tour. And with that, we begin in Rome, and I'm just going to click through and let these folks tell you a little bit about it, and I'm going to stop, and Molly and I are going to talk about Italy as well. So these are friends that were just on a tour a couple of months ago. We have a special guest, Leslie and Brian Roby. They live actually just around the corner from where we live here in Middleburg, Florida, and recently have gone on the Essence of Italy tour with us. So welcome to the show tonight. Glad
Thank you.
Here. Yeah. So was this your first time to Italy when you traveled with us? And
Yes.
And when was it? May or something? Was it May or June?
Yep, it was in May.
Yeah.
And that was our first time overseas ever.
Oh, totally ever. So
Yep.
you got the whole spiel about the whole deal of flying the airplane and everything else. So that was great. When you go to Italy, the first thing that usually pops to people's mind is Rome, and you have to go see Rome. After being there, we all realize it's a crazy city. It's big, it's diverse, there's a whole lot of people there. And then we were even complicated because that was the time where the previous pope had just passed away, and uh, were they electing a new pope at that time, or had it been done? I can't remember.
Yes, they were electing him.
Okay, yeah. So there was a lot of complications, especially around Vatican City. But you did get to go into the Colosseum and get to go into Vatican City. Tell me about that experience, and also with Julia, who was your guide for the Vatican Museum, I think.
She was amazing. We just loved her. It just gave so much history, and it was so amazing to see the Vatican. Definitely worth the trip for sure.
Hmm.
The Colosseum was totally different than the Vatican, but both were amazing.
Right. I remember that after Julia finished the tour inside the Vatican, you were going to walk around the walls and try to go into the St. Peter's Basilica. But that was at the point where everyone was queued up to see the former Pope lying in state or whatever, I think. And so the line was so long, we everybody in the group just said, forget this. We can't
Yeah,
stay here this long.
it was too hot.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
missed the inside of St. Peter's Cathedral, but we did see the outside, and it was, gosh, a unique time. It's not very often that we get to be there, or anybody gets to be there when all of that stuff is going on. But getting in to see the Vatican Museum, that was great. The previous day, we started the day off, the tour off with you guys going to the Colosseum. And that was a pretty simple process. So what'd you think about that ancient Rome Colosseum built in 80 AD?
Yeah, it was amazing that such a massive structure, and although a lot of it had fallen down, a lot of it was still there, and you could almost imagine what was going on with your narration,
Right.
about
So,
what had been occurring back then. It was unbelievable.
right, great.
Yeah.
Brian's talking about an audio guide I prepared for the Coliseum, and we found over the years that gosh, spending 2 hours inside there with a guide is just hot, and it gets old. And giving so I've got a 45-minute or so audio guide that you just put in your earbuds, and hopefully it kind of helps you and gives you some of the history as you're walking around there. So thanks for the comments on that as well. Um, we included a combination on this tour of the big cities like Rome and Florence, but also some small little towns and villages. What did you enjoy most about getting outside of Rome?
Of course, the train ride was fun um going to the village part.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That was the first train ride like that we've ever been on too.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that every time we go to the station, people are asking him, well, what do we do about lunch and everything else? And so we sent you guys, just go to the grocery store, go to the shop here, buy you a picnic, and you can have it on the train. So I think it worked good for all of us.
They
Yeah.
worked they worked very well. I
Yeah,
mean, the train was very comfortable, and with that lunch, everything was fine. We had
yeah,
time to eat it, and
right.
it was a very nice ride on the train. And Tuscany was beautiful.
Yeah.
All the different small little towns, they were all different.
As we traveled through on the train, and then eventually we got to our destination that day, the Cinque Terre. So we stayed in Monterosso for 2 nights. How'd you use your time there?
That was my favorite town.
Mm.
We took the train to Monarola. Monarola, is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's where we went, and we had lunch there. A Glaston restaurant. I don't remember the name of it, but you probably yeah, it's so beautiful there. That was my favorite place. And Tuscany, Volterra was my second favorite for sure.
Great, great. And speaking of Volterra, you guys did something we've kind of added in as an optional, and that is a cooking class out at my friends Claudia and Ivana's house in
Yeah,
Arcampo. How'd you enjoy that?
that was so much fun.
Yeah,
They were so nice. Kathy and Jeff and I had a great time doing that. Yeah, it
yeah,
was a lot of fun.
yeah. The cooking class, it took probably about 3 hours or so,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
wasn't like total physical labor the whole time, but you
right.
learned a lot. And then we all came out to Marcampo, to the villa outside of town, and had dinner of what you
Yeah,
prepared to eat. So that was a great experience, a beautiful locale there as well. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You also we did a wine tasting there in Volterra, and we had a guided tour with my friend Annie, who lives in Volterra. So you got a good bit of history about that town too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing tour. And just being in that place with all the history going back hundreds and hundreds of years, and standing right on top of the history is just amazing.
Right.
She did a great job, and that whole area there was just beautiful. It's like a postcard. Everywhere you look is like a postcard.
And the restaurants you took us to were so good.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring that up next. We include about half the dinners
Hmm.
on all our tours, but in Italy it's especially great because it's tough to get bad Italian food. So we had diversity. We had I don't know what we had in Rome, Roman pasta probably, and then
Yeah.
we had maybe we went to Chalk and restaurant Chalk, I believe, in Monterosso. Did we have the spaghetti chalk or?
Yes. At
Okay.
that outdoor restaurant.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then in Volterra, we had that whole restaurant to ourselves.
Oh yeah, we had the steak that night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so you feel that's a pretty good value for what we're doing because we try to include. We say we include the food and the water, but in Italy it's kind of hard not to include the wine too. So
Yeah. I was going to say you did that a little more than you probably, it was really nice of you to do that for us. It was like one of the best parts that part of Italy, the wine.
Great. Very good. Finished up in Florence, the cradle of the Renaissance. My friend Paula was your tour guide there and took you to the Accademia Museum to see. So Molly, I know you probably can't see what's there happening, but we're standing in Florence at the Ponte Vecchio. So we had just walked through now the Piazza della Signoria, I think is what it's called. And since you studied there, can you tell us a little bit of what you enjoy about Florence?
Well, everywhere in Italy, I enjoy the food. And Florence is great. I mean, its food is wonderful. It's more um, hunter's food, like wild boar and these really kind of stinky but delicious cheeses and,
Yeah.
really dark and rich red wine. Um, but the incredible thing about Florence is everywhere you look, there's just um, something breathtaking around the corner, whether it be art or an ancient piece of history or something like that. And Florence is so small, it's so compact, but there's just so much culture there. And I think we do a really good job on your tour of showing people how magical Florence really is.
Right.
Going to see the David, going to the Ponte Vecchio, the Palazzo della Signoria. People like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Brunelleschi, they all live there, were working around the same time. And you could just see this creative genius all around you and feel it. And it's pretty cool.
Right. So, on the tours that we lead here in Florence, so you and I, we get to go to the Accademia and see Michelangelo's David. We get to go to the Duomo, take kind of a walking tour. And then the next day, the folks have an option if they would like to go to the Uffizi Gallery, which is the best Renaissance paintings available anywhere, I think. But there's a lot of other museums there in Florence too. Do you have another one besides the Accademia and Uffizi that you might recommend for us to go to?
There's so many. So that's a hard question. It sort of depends on your interest because obviously with Renaissance art, there are millions of places you could go in Florence for that. The Pitti Palace is a really good one.
Okay.
That was a palace that has even more Renaissance art. But there's also the Galileo Museum. So that's actually a science museum in Florence, which is kind of a nice change of pace from all the Renaissance art that you look at in the city.
Well, wow, I don't think I've even been to that one. I
Oh,
don't
really?
know where that is, so I will check it out the next time I'm there.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
One fun place that I went to the last time I was there actually was the Medici chapels. So it's not
Mhm.
really a museum, but it's where the members of the famous rich rulers of Florence, many of them were buried, and there's some really famous Michelangelo sculptures in there. So it's right in the middle of, right in the center of town, but not as many people know about it. And so that's a fun place to visit as well. Quick and easy, and you're still seeing beautiful Michelangelo's in there.
Right, that's near the San Lorenzo Leather Market, the church, the San Lorenzo Church as well.
Yes,
I haven't
exactly.
been in there in probably 20, 25 years, but
Oh, really?
I recall when I was there that there was even some cartoons or sketches on the walls that Michelangelo had
Mhm.
pinned there. Is that still there, or when you were there, did you see those?
I don't remember seeing those this time.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But the nice thing about Florence and all these places in Italy is not much changes. So even if you haven't been there in 25 years or 2,000 years, this stuff is going to be there for you to look at and for you to
It's
marvel
like
at.
walking through history, whether you're in
It,
Florence, Siena, Volterra, nothing's changed much in 800 years. So
exactly.
that's for
In a good
sure.
way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Well, listen,
Mhm.
I'm
Well,
great.
yeah, David,
Listen,
thanks so
yeah,
much.
thank you for joining me, and good luck with everything. And let that baby boy grow up so you can come back and work for us. Okay.
Right, exactly. I'll tell him, hurry up and grow up.
Hurry up. All right. Thanks so much, Molly. See you
All
later.
right. Thanks a lot, David.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Michelangelo's, David, not this one right here. And how'd you like that experience?
That was good. It was amazing. All the artwork in that museum and that whole city that she took us through, and again, all the history
Mhm.
and different history than Rome, but to contrast, and very good. Yeah.
What was that big place you took me back to?
Oh, the Domo, the massive church.
Right. Yeah. The church with Brunelleschi's dome on it that they built to the
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
something.
breathtaking.
Yes. Glad you got to go in there. That was wonderful. Yeah. Well, listen, thank you guys for number one going on the trip with us. We certainly enjoyed getting to know you. Charlotte and I both were on that tour. We try to do at least one Italy tour a year, and I'm glad it was the one that you guys were on. So thank you for
Same
that.
Yeah.
here.
And also thank you for being a part of this tour expo that we're doing. And so I'll leave it with that and say thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. Okay, take
Okay.
care.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Okay.
Talk to
All
you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was what we call the essence of Italy. It's about 8, 9 days going up from Rome to Florence. 2 days in Rome, 2 days in Cinque Terre, 2 days in Volterra, 1 day in Siena, and 2 days in Florence. And then the final day is you getting home. Most people choose to go ahead and do the best of Italy, which continues on to Venice, to Lake Como and the foothills of the Alps and into Milan. So we had some other friends who were on the tour. Jeff and Kathy, they're from Phoenix area. And they spent a month with us in Italy, especially with Charlotte. And so I'm going to let Jeff and Kathy tell you a little bit about their experience from Venice on to Milan. Essence of Italy kind of ends there in Florence, but the best of Italy continues. By the way, this we filmed this on site in Volterra at the Villa Marcampo, which is where we have a 7-night villa tour. So it's a 10-day tour, 2 days in Florence also. And so they were on part an abbreviated villa tour with us, and so we were filming. And we go 2 nights in Venice, 2 nights in Lake Como, and a night in Milan. So you guys were in Venice, and I think there were at this point there was only 2 couples. So, yeah.
No, two.
Yeah, two.
Yeah. And what was the highlight of Venice for you?
The gondola ride,
Yeah.
the food, laying by the ocean and getting in the ocean all the way up to our knees.
Yeah, so you did some things. We like to stay on the beach of Venice, the Lido of Venice, which is a lot less touristy than staying on the island. And y'all elected on your free day to actually go to the beach, and it's a nice, big,
It was great.
big what? A sandy beach, you know.
Big sandy beach. The water wasn't bad.
We rented.
We'd been on the go
umbrellas.
for a month,
Yeah.
so downtime
Yeah.
in the water was
Yeah.
perfect.
And from Venice, the tour continues on. Again, hop onto the fast train, and you met a driver friend of mine from in Milan, and about an hour and a half, maybe an hour, a little bit from Milan, up into the mountains of Lake Como, and y'all were right there in the town of Bellagio for 2 nights. Okay, so you were in Bellagio for a couple of nights. How'd you like that village in Bellagio?
Not what I expected. I didn't know what I expected. I think George Clooney.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we didn't find that. It was a lot of steps, peaceful, quaint. I think more of what you think of when you think of Italy. The quaint little stairwells. Our hotel was nice. People were nice.
Food was good.
Food was
We ate-
good.
The one night we ate right down on the water and looked out.
We got some gorgeous pictures from there.
Yeah, the villages there, especially Bellagio, if you want to picture it and imagine it, you're on lake level, and then it's kind of the village falls down from the mountains down into the lake. So in order to get from one portion of the town to the next, there's some steep stairs to hike
To
up.
traverse
Yeah,
there.
and
But it was huge.
right.
I don't think when it said Lake Como, I thought we were going to be one little town around a little lake. This place was huge.
Yeah.
Many quaint little towns.
Big
So
lakes, villages all over.
we took a boat trip there too.
And then our Best of Italy tour ends up the last night in Milan, and so you went back to the big city of Milan, and Charlotte showed you around the cathedral there, the Duomo there, and I think y'all were ready to sit down and have a spritz and have dinner. I think is
Oh, yeah.
what you told me, right? By that time?
Yes.
After we walked around and looked at it, it was absolutely beautiful.
We traveled well together.
And then we found after we saw the church and everything, and then we just found
We
a street
happened
side.
on a tourist trap looking little restaurant that was out of this world. Food was great.
So that's a little bit about the rest of that Best of Italy tour. Jeff and Kathy, as I said, were with Charlotte and the Amalfi Coast. You'll hear from them in just a few minutes as well. But pretty amazing. Now, you've heard Molly talk about food. I've talked about food. Jeff and Kathy talked about food. So had Brian and Leslie talked about food, because that's a very important thing for us on all of our tours, but especially in Italy, because it's tough to get a bad meal or a bad glass of wine in Italy. And the cuisine varies so much from city to city and region to region. For example, in Rome, there's these 4 types of pasta, all based on, well, the one we know most probably is carbonara pasta. That's got a thick pasta with egg sauce and cream sauce. But they also have some with guanciale, so ham, a little ham in it, matriciana, and it's all based on the same type of pasta and recipe. But then you go, as Molly said, you go to Tuscany and Florence. It's more of the game, wild boar, guinea fowl, those kind of things. Cingale is a wild boar, by the way. So all of that made there. So that's kind of important too. And then, of course, on the seaside areas of the Cinque Terre and also in Venice, there's a lot to do with some fish and seafood as well. And then you just saw me a moment ago show some photos of the food in Milan. It's more what do you call it? Comfort type food, I think. And so that dish I showed was polenta with a big piece of what's it called? Veal shank. What is also buco? Yeah, also buco on it. So let me tell you, we're going to just spend another 15 minutes talking about south of Rome, but only our tour, which is the Amalfi and Islands tour. And so I'm going to let Jeff and Kathy narrate that a little bit. And you'll see Charlotte was actually the tour guide with Jeff and Kathy on that, and they had such a great time. I'll let them explain it to you a little bit.
Welcome, Jeff and Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What did you?
By the way, folks, we recorded this outside at Marcampo at this villa, and you're hearing some noise. It's not distortion in the microphone or anything, it's wind. And of course, we didn't realize that so much when we recorded it, but there was nothing I could do post other than try to get a little bit of it. So that's what you're hearing. So bear with it. I put another microphone over the speaker. Maybe it'll help.
Think about the Amalfi experience that you had and the island of Ischia as well.
Amalfi was amazing, crowded. We had a great time, but we had a wonderful tour with Charlotte. We saw all kinds of things. The drivers took us through beautiful countryside, crazy roads, lots of food. Ischia was a very great place to shop. We did a lot of shopping there.
So Ischia is a volcanic island with like 5 or 6 villages around that, and you guys were in Porio. Is that how it's pronounced? Charlotte's here as well, so you'll hear her chime in to maybe ask some questions or give some little reminders as well. But so we always enjoy doing that experience because there's 4 days we have in Ischia. One day you went to Capri. What'd you think about that?
Beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. The trip over, disappointed that we couldn't go in the Blue Grotto.
And it was closed because the water level was too high.
Yeah.
But we took a boat trip all the way around the island,
Okay.
and that was very nice to see. It was amazing what you can see from the boat.
Yeah.
And then our guide everywhere has been outstanding. If it was Charlotte or if it was one of the locals you guys had hired, it's just the people were, the sites they show us, the knowledge they had was just phenomenal.
Yeah, so we like to do that to punctuate all the experiences with a local, someone that is an expert in the area that actually lives there. So all over Italy, we do that. We've made connections with local people and experts who were able to do that. Y'all also went to that little pastel village island of Procida, and you were there for just a few hours.
Yeah, the afternoon. Great guide there too. She could walk really fast, but she was so informed. Every place we've been, it's amazing how much we don't know.
Yeah.
And how much we don't know about history.
Yeah.
Actually, the young girl there called the United States very young.
Right. So from there, from the Ischia, we were 4 nights there. Took the ferry back to the mainland. You went to Pompeii. What do you think about Pompeii?
Far better than I anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely amazing what they could accomplish way back then. Mm-hmm. Their waterways, their baths, their roads, everything was just
it was amazing. And to see what they've excavated and what they've come up with and how it's been preserved and the history behind it. And that guide was very, very knowledgeable in the things he showed us and told us, and just absolutely.
Then you were there. You stayed 3 nights in Sorrento. You've already said you went to. One of the days you went on the coastal drive with the Amalfi Coast with a local driver and kind of expert or something, and so you visited a couple of towns there as well, right?
They were fabulous.
Yeah.
Positano and
busy.
Amalfi.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to drive there, would you?
No.
Absolutely not. Take a cab, take a driver.
Yeah. So it pays. I've done that drive myself twice in my life, and neither time was I able to do any sightseeing at all. white knuckles on the steering wheel, and there would be nowhere to find a place to park either. So it
No,
really
and
pays to have a driver.
They're all parked so close together in the no parking zones. They don't care.
And
The roads are lined with traffic.
and as
or
you know,
parking.
we were going to do that on our own because we had to change our tour around, but we added that to the tour thanks to you. And we could not have seen or found the places and the sites that they saw on our own. It would have been an impossibility.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
we're
was
so thankful we did the
thankful when we did the
tours.
tours.
Yeah.
And the cooking class was great.
Oh, that
we
was good.
did.
Both of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So you had a cooking class down in
Sorrento.
Sorrento. And what did you cook there?
Eggplant parmesan.
Gnocchis.
And
We made
gnocchis.
homemade gnocchis. They kept the wine coming all through the cooking class. I don't know if that was for them or us.
And
But
then
yeah.
the first half we did on olive oil and vinegar tasting, which was amazing with the different flavors of both the olive oil and the vinegars.
Yeah. And then so that was the extent of the.
Charlotte, what is this?
That's a lemon, well, it's like lemon gelato, and they serve it in the actual lemon that they're using there. We actually had that in the town of Amalfi. We stopped for a break and to cool off and have something lemony because lemons are everywhere.
That's right, they are. Lemon gelato, limone.
So that was the extent of the Amalfi or our Amalfi and Islands tour experience. I see you've got some Aperol Spritz.
I'm gonna stop here too, Charlotte, since you're sitting here. What this is what? This is the cooking class. He still has an apron on.
Yes, so we had just finished cooking. Kathy was explaining, we did eggplant parmigiana and we also made gnocchi. So here you see us enjoying our eggplant parmigiana. And I have to say, it's the best I've ever had. And we made it.
Great. Yeah. So it's not like going to the Olive Garden and getting eggplant parmigiana?
No, not quite.
Okay. And we're going to wrap this up right here with the outro from Jeff.
Right there in front of
Yes,
you.
we've learned new drinks.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
very good.
Outstanding.
And so you acquired a taste for the Aperol and the Prosecco there. But down in Amalfi, I understand you also had the limoncello spritz.
That
Did
was
you have
our
that?
first ones there.
Okay.
Those were excellent.
You like those too?
They were very good.
Very good.
Yeah. So have you had any drinks or wine that you didn't like while you've been in Italy?
No?
No.
No, of course
No.
not. Great.
Okay, so I've been long-winded the last 3 nights and was trying to pare down things, and I was short-handed today on trying to get everything done. So I'm going to tell you about Sicily probably next, or I will tell you about Sicily next Thursday night, the 24th, and also the Tuscan Villa vacation next Thursday night. And that's July 24th as well. And I'm going to talk about the villa then, because that's the night we're going to do the drawing for the free villa tour for people as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are. Oh, yeah. So, yes, I'm supposed to ask Jamie about if there are any questions or comments. Jamie, can you see those, or do I need to look at them?
Yes, I can see those. So Victoria said, "Hi, Molly. We were in the Italy trip with you while you were pregnant." And Philip says, "Greetings, David. And also, we yearn to join you in Italy again. Cheers." Frank says, "Great seafood cones and Cinque Terre and biggest lemons I've ever seen."
All right, that's for sure.
And Susan McInerney said, have they uncovered most of the theater that was discovered in Volterra?
Yeah, so there's a Roman amphitheater there, similar to the one you see on the screen here, the one in Rome, the Colosseum in Rome. An amphitheater are two half circle theaters put together. And in Volterra, they discovered in 2013, a farmer was digging in his fields and came across a bunch of rocks poking through it. They said it looks like Roman rocks are there, and lo and behold, there's a whole Colosseum underneath that. So we were there in May this year, and I make a point to go every time. So basically, the foundation is uncovered, but there is a whole lot of work to do because you can imagine that it's in a bowl because over the centuries it had totally covered up with sand and silt. So the entire thing that's about 5 stories tall is all under the ground. So they dug down there, but it's in a bowl. So every time it rains, we notice that the mud that they just excavated by buckets, by the way, always comes back down on there. So it's going to be a long process, but there is definitely more work. I should compile a small little video about that to show you how it looks over the last 10 years that I've been keeping an eye on it.
All right. Vernice says, have you ever taken a group tour to Pompeii, which you covered?
Yes.
Yes. And then also, do you have a favorite Italian dish?
Yeah, so Pompeii is really unique. First of all, it's out in the middle of a big plain underneath Mount Vesuvius, and there are no trees or anything. It's on a volcanic soil. So first of all, it's very hot. So we do that tour in the spring and the fall when it's not the heat of the summer. But it's amazing because the walls, everything's intact from about 5 feet down. And so the streets and everything is there. The mosaics, frescoes, all of that is still intact. So it's amazing to go. And it really helps if you, like we do, we hire a local guide to explain it. Otherwise, you're just kind of walking around, and after 10 minutes, everything looks the same. And my favorite Italian dish, is that the question, Jamie?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
My favorite Italian dish, gosh, there's many of them, but I can't get away from in the Tuscany area, the beefsteak Fiorentina, which is a huge T-bone steak with a lot of filet on one side, about 2 kilos, which is 4 pounds or so, cooked 7 minutes on the side, sprinkled with salt and pepper and olive oil, and served fresh hot off the grill with roasted potatoes or fagioli, beans. What kind of cannellini beans. How about you, Charlotte? What's your favorite meal?
I prefer pastas, so I would have to say the cacio e pepe that we get in Rome, and I also like amatriciana, which is well, you talked about that's
the red sauce base.
But probably my favorite spot to eat is spaghetti chop, or to get spaghetti chop from Chop in Monterosso in the Cinque Terre,
which has mixed seafood in that as well. Yeah,
that's my.
That it?
All right. And then the last one that was just a comment, John Grinham said, hello all, been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. John, I invited you to come over and bring the grappa, but I guess you're out, right? So come join us. Let's get together. All right, Jamie, thank you very much. Everybody else, thank you too for joining in tonight. We'll be back on Monday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, talking about some other destinations in Europe, France, Spain, Portugal, Central Europe, the Balkans, Greece, and those 2 places in Italy, Sicily and the Villa Tour. So until then, until Monday night, thanks so much. Your adventure still starts here with David McGuffin's Exploring Europe. Bye, everyone.
Mhm.